The Nectar of Instruction by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So, 11 lessons in the ancient science of Bhakti Yoga. Across 5 centuries and half the globe comes this compact guidebook of essential spiritual teaching. How to choose a guru, how to practice yoga, even where to live. You will find it all in this invaluable work originally written in Sanskrit by Srila Rupa Goswami, the greatest spiritual genius of medieval India. Now translated and illuminated by Rupa Goswami's modern successor, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The nectar of instruction is the key to enlightenment for all the seekers on the path of spiritual perfection. Have a look of His Divine Grace. Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Rupa Goswami, the author of Updeshmrita and numerous other volumes of Vaishnava philosophy, he is the chief literary disciple of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the pioneer of the powerful Sankirtan movement which began in India 500 years ago. The temple of Radha Govind in Vrindavan, this India established in the 16th century by Srila Rupa Goswami, conquering Mughal tyrant Aurangzeb, dismantled the top 4 stories in envy of the temple magnificence. Sri Radha Govindji, the beloved deities of Srila Rupa Goswami at the time of the Mughal invasion, they were moved to Jaipur, India, where they are presently being worshipped. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his intimate associates performing Sankirtan means congregational chanting of the holy names of God. From left to right are Sri Advaita Acharya, Lord Nityanand, Sri Lord Chaitanya, Sri Gadadhar, and Sri Vas. Sri Radha Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his eternal consort of the many objects of the favor delight, and all of the beloved damsel in Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani is the most treasured object of Krishna's love. Lord Krishna lifting Govardhan hill during his pastime in Vrindavan, India 5000 years ago, Krishna held up the divine hill for 7 days to protect the denizens of Vrindavan from torrential rains sent by Indra, the king of the demigod. The Nectar of Instruction. Other books by His Divine Grace. On the cover, the Samadhi tomb of Sri Rupa Goswami at the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. All glory to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Text 1, text 2, text 3, okay. Contents are there. Preface. The Krishna Consciousness Movement, preface, starting with preface. The Krishna Consciousness Movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas or Bengali Vaishnavas are mostly followers of Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom the 6 Goswami of Vrindavan are direct disciples. Therefore, Sri Narottam Das Thakur has sung, Rupa Raghunath Pade Hei Aiba Kuti, Kab Hama Bhujabhai Se Yugla Priti. When I am eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affair of Radha and Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the science of Krishna. The most exalted of all the activities of Lord Krishna are his pastime of conjugal love with the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, the best of the gopis. Therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow in his footsteps, one must very seriously follow in the footsteps of 6 Goswamis. Sri Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Bhatta Raghunath Goswami, Sri Rajiv Goswami, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, and Das Raghunath Goswami. Sri Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the Goswamis, and to guide our activities, he gave us this Updeshmrita, the nectar of instruction to follow. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left behind him the 8 verses known as Shishtakasta, Rupa Goswami gave us Updeshmrita so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. In all the spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. Everyone within this material world is engrossed in the modes of passion and ignorance. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattva Guna, by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami. And then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattva Guna, by following the instruction of Rupa Goswami. Then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. A follower of Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. Vaishnavas are generally known as Goswamis. In Vrindavan, this is the title by which the director of each temple is known. One who wants to become a perfect devotee of Krishna must become a Goswami. Go means senses and Swami means the master. Unless one controls his sense and mind, one cannot become a Goswami. To achieve the highest success in life by becoming a Goswami and then a pure devotee of the Lord, one must follow the instruction known as Updeshmrita, which have been given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami has given many other books such as Bhakti Rasmata Sindhu, Vigudha Madhava, Lalita Madhav, but Updeshmrita constitutes the first instruction for neophyte devotees. One should follow this instruction very strictly, then it will be easier to make one's life successful. Hare Krishna. Signed by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Text 1. वाचो वेगं मनसा क्रोधवेगं जीववेगं उदारपसता वेगं एतान वेगं यो विषहेता धीरा सर्वं अपि मामं पृथ्वीं सा शिष्यत. Translation: A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demand, the action of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciple all over the world. For the purport of His divine grace, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj placed a number of intelligent questions before Sukdev Goswami. One of these questions was, why do people undergo atonement if they cannot control their senses? For instance, a thief may know perfectly well that he may be arrested for stealing, and he may actually even see a thief arrested by the police, yet he continues to steal. Experience is gathered by hearing and seeing. One who is less intelligent gather experience by seeing, and one who is more intelligent gather experience by hearing. When an intelligent person hears from the law book and shastra or scripture that stealing is not good and hears that a thief is punished when arrested, he refrains from theft. A less intelligent person may first have to arrested and punished for stealing to learn to stop stealing. However, a rascal or foolish man may have the experience of both hearing and seeing, and may even be punished. But still he continues to steal. Even if such a person atones and he is punished by the government, he will again commit theft as soon as he comes out of the jail. If punishment in jail is considered atonement, what is the benefit of such an atonement? Thus Parikshit Maharaj inquired. Okay, I am not going to read Sanskrit. So the Parikshit Maharaj inquired. He compared atonement to an elephant bathing. The elephant may take a very nice bath in the river, but as soon as it comes on the bank, it throws dirt all over its body. What then is the value of its bathing? Similarly, many spiritual practitioners chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra at the same time commit the many forbidden things, thinking that their chanting will counteract their offenses. Of the 10 types of offenses one can commit while chanting the holy names of the Lord. This offense is called Namna Balada Yasya Hi Papa Buddhi, committing sinful activities on the strength of the chanting of the holy name Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Similarly, certain Christians go to church to confess their sins, thinking that confessing their sins before a priest and performing some penances will relieve them from the result of their weekly sins. As soon as Saturday is over and Sunday comes, they again begin their sinful activities, expecting to be forgiven by the next Saturday. This kind of prashit or atonement is condemned by Maharaj Prakshit, the most intelligent king of his time. Sukdev Goswami, equally intelligent as befitting the spiritual master of Maharaj Prakshit, answered the king and confirmed that his statement concerning atonement was correct. A sinful activity cannot be counteracted by an pious activity. Thus, real prashit atonement is the awakening of our dormant Krishna consciousness. Real atonement involves coming to real knowledge, and for this, there is a standard process. When one follows a regulated hygiene process, it does not fall sick. A human being is meant to be trained according to certain principle to revive his original knowledge. Such a methodical life is described as tapasya. One may can be gradually elevated to the standard of real knowledge or Krishna consciousness by practicing austerity and celibacy, brahmacharya, by controlling the mind, by controlling the senses, by giving up one possession in charity, by by being by being avowedly truthful, by keeping clean, and by practicing yoga asana. However, if one is fortunate enough to get association of a pure devotee, he can easily surpass all the practices of for controlling the mind by the mystic yoga process simply by following the regulatory principle of Krishna consciousness, refraining from illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, and by engaging in the Supreme Lord, service of the Supreme Lord, under the guidance or direction of the bona fide spiritual master. This easy process is being recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami. First, one must control his speaking power. Every one of us has the power to speak. As soon as we get an opportunity, we begin to speak. If we do not speak about Krishna consciousness, we speak about all sort of nonsense. A toad in a field speaks by croaking, and similarly, everyone who has a tongue wants to speak, even if all he has to say is nonsense. The croaking of the toad, however, simply invites the snake. Please come here and eat me. Nevertheless, although it is inviting death, the toad goes on croaking. The talking of a materialistic man and impersonalist Mayavadi philosopher may be compared to the croaking of frogs. They are always speaking nonsense and thus inviting death to catch them. Controlling speech, however, does not mean self imposed silence. This is the external process of Maun, as Mayavadi philosophers think. Silence may appear helpful for some time, but ultimately it's prove a failure. The meaning of controlled speech conveyed by Srila Rupa Goswami advocates the positive process of Krishna Katha, engaging the speaking process in glorifying the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. The tongue can thus glorify the name, form, qualities, and pastime of the Lord. The preacher of Krishna Katha is always beyond the clutches of death. This is the significance of controlling the urge to speak. The restlessness or fickleness of mind, manovega, is controlled when one is fixed his mind on the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. The Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Krishna Surya Sama Maya hai Handkar. Yahan Krishna tahan nahi Maya Adhikar. Krishna is just like the sun and Maya is just like the darkness. If the sun is present, there is no question of darkness. Similarly, if Krishna is present in the mind, there is no possibility of the minds being agitated by Maya influence. The yogic process of negating all material thoughts will not help. To try to create a vacuum in the mind is artificial. The vacuum will not remain. However, if one always think of Krishna, how to serve Krishna best, one's mind will be naturally controlled. Similarly, anger can be controlled. We cannot stop anger altogether. But if we simply become angry with those who blaspheme the Lord or his devotees of the Lord, we control our anger in Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes angry with the miscreant brothers Jagai and Madai, who blasphemed and struck Nityanand Prabhu. In the Shishtakastaka, Lord Chaitanya wrote, Tanadapi sunichana taror api sahishuna. One should be humbler than the grass and tolerant than the tree. One may then ask why the Lord exhibited his anger. The point is that one should be ready to tolerate all insult to oneself, but when Krishna or his pure devotee is blasphemed, a genuine devotee becomes angry and act like a fire against the offenders. Krodh, anger cannot be stopped, but it can be applied rightly. It was in anger that Hanuman set fire to Lanka, but he is worshipped as the greatest devotee of Lord Ramchandra. This means that he utilizes anger in the right way. Arjuna served as another example. He was not feeling to fight, but Krishna incited his anger. You must fight. To fight without anger is not possible. Anger is controlled, however, when utilized in the service of the Lord. As for the urges of the tongue, we all experience that the tongue wants to eat palatable dishes. Generally, we should not allow the tongue to eat according to its choice, but should control the tongue by supplying prasad. The devotee's attitude is that he will eat only when Krishna gives him prasadam. That is the way to control the urge of the tongue. One should take prasad at scheduled times and should not eat in a restaurant or sweet meat shop simply to satisfy the whims of the tongue or belly. If we stick to the principle of taking only prasad, the urges of the belly and the tongue can be controlled. In a similar manner, the urges of the genitals, the sex impulse, can be controlled when not used unnecessarily. The genitals should be used to beget Krishna consciousness child, otherwise they should not be used. The Krishna consciousness movement encourages marriages not for the satisfaction of the genitals, but for the begetting of Krishna consciousness children. As soon as children are a little grown up, they are sent to our Gurukul school in Delas, Texas, where they are trained to become fully Krishna consciousness devotees. Many such Krishna consciousness children are required, and one who is capable of bringing forth Krishna consciousness offspring is allowed to utilize his genitals. So, we always use discretion when sending our children to Gurukul. Who's the president, who is at the present time, who's the um, senior devotee. We have to understand all the things and keep in our mind at the situation has changed. There is a difference. This is difference of time also play the important role. Okay, when one is fully practiced in the method of Krishna consciousness control, he can become qualified to become a bona fide spiritual master. In his Anuvrati explanation of Uddesh Smrita, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur write that our material identification creates three kinds of urges: the urge to speak, the urge or demand of the mind, and the demands of the body. When a living entity falls victim to these three types of urges, his life becomes inauspiciousness. One who practices resisting this demand or urge is called tapasvi, or one who practices austerities. By such tapasya, one can overcome victimization of by the material energy, the external potency of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. When one referred to urge to speak, we refer to useless talking, as such as that of the impersonal Mayavadi philosophers, or of which a person engaged in fruitive activities, technically called karma kand, or of materialistic people who simply want to enjoy life without restriction. All such talks or literature are practically exhibition of the urge to speak. Many people are talking nonsensely and writing volumes of useless book. All this is the result of their urge to speak. To counteract this tendency, we have to divert our talking to subject of Krishna. This is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Those words we do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by the saintly person to be like unto the place of pilgrimage for crows. Since the all perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure there. On the other hand, the literature which is full of description of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, form, and pastime, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literature, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. The conclusion is that only when we talk about devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can we refrain from useless nonsensical talk. We should always endeavor to use our speaking power solely for the purpose of realizing Krishna consciousness. As for the agitation of the flickering mind, they are divided into two divisions. The first is called Virodha Priti, or unrestricted attachment, and the other is Virodha Yukta Krodha, anger arising from frustration. The adherence to the philosophy of Mayavadis, belief in the fruitive result of the Karmavadis, and belief in plans based on materialistic desire are called Virodha Priti. Virodha Priti means unrestricted attachment. Jnanis, Yagamis, and materialistic plan makers generally attract the attention of the conditioned soul, but when the materialists cannot fulfill their plan and when their devices are frustrated, they become angry. Frustration of material desire produces anger. Similarly, the demand of the body can be divided into three categories: the demand of the tongue, demand of the belly, and the genitals. One may observe these three senses are physically situated in a straight line. As far as the body is concerned, that the bodily demands begin with the tongue. If one can restrain the demand of the tongue by limiting its activity to eating of prasada, the urges of the belly and the genitals can automatically be controlled. In this connection, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in this prayer, O Lord, this material body is a lump of ignorance, and the senses are a network of path leading to death. Somehow or other we have fallen into the ocean of material sense enjoyment, and all of the senses the tongue is the most voracious and uncontrollable. It is very difficult to control the tongue in this world, but you, dear Krishna, are very kind to us. You sent this nice prasad to help us conquer the tongue. Therefore, let us take this prasad to our full satisfaction and glorify your Lordship Sri Radha and Krishna, and in love call for the help of Chaitanya Prabhu and Nityanand Prabhu. Lord Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityanand. There are six kinds of rasas, tastes. If one is agitated by one of them, he becomes controlled by the urge of the tongue. Some persons are attracted to the eating of meat, fish, crab, eggs, and other things produced by semina and blood and eaten in the form of dead bodies. Others are attracted by eating vegetables, creepers, spinach, or milk products, but all are for the satisfaction of tongue's demand. Such eating for sense gratification, including the use of extra quantity of spices like chili and tamarind, is to be given up by Krishna consciousness person. The use of pan, hariktaki, betel nuts, various species used in pan making, tobacco, LSD, marijuana, opium, liquid like liquor, coffee, and tea is indulged to fulfill illicit demands. If we can practice accepting only remnants of the food stuff offered to Krishna, it is possible to get free from Maya victimization. Vegetable, grains, fruits, milk products, and water are properly food to be offered to the Lord as Lord Krishna himself described. However, if one accepts prasad only because of its palatable taste and thus eat too much, he falls prey to trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us to avoid very palatable dishes even while eating prasad. Very, very important thing. If we offer palatable dishes to the deity with the intention to eating such nice food, we are involved in trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. If we accept the invitation of a rich man with the idea of receiving palatable food, we are also trying to satisfy the demand of the tongue. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela, it is stated, Jivhare lalsa yahi iti hui dayo, Shishnodhara prayana Krishna nahi paya. That person who runs here and there seeking to gratify his palate and who is always attached to the desire of his stomach and genitals is unable to attain Krishna. As stated before, the tongue, belly, genitals are situated in a straight line, they fall in the same category. Lord Chaitanya has said, Bhala na kabi, are bhala na paribi. Do not rest luxury, do not eat delicious food stuff. Those who suffer from disease of the stomach must be unable to control the urges of the belly, at least according to this analysis. When we desire to eat more than necessary, we automatically create many inconveniences in life. However, if we observe fasting days like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, we can restrain the demands of the body belly. As far as the genitals are concerned, there are two proper and improper, legal or illicit sex. When a man is properly mature, he can marry according to the rules and regulations of the Shastras and use his genitals for begetting nice children. That is legal and religious. Otherwise, he may adopt many artificial means to satisfy the demands of the genitals, and he may not use any restraint. When one indulges in illicit sex life as defined by the Shastras, either by thinking, planning, talking about, or actually having sexual intercourse, or by satisfying the genitals by artificial means, he is caught in the clutches of the Maya. These instructions apply not only to householder but also to the Tyagis, or those who are the renounced order of life. In his book Prema Vivarta, chapter 7, Sri Jagannath Pandit says, My dear brother, you are the renounced order of life and should not listen to talk about ordinary worldly things, nor should you talk about worldly things when you meet with others. Do not think of women in dream. You have accepted the renounced order of life with a vow that forbids you to associate with the woman. If you wish to associate with the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you must always remember the incident of Chota Haridas, how he was rejected by the Lord. Do not eat luxurious dishes or dress in a fine garment, but always remain humble and serve their Lordship Shri Radha Krishna in your hearts of the heart. The conclusion is that one who can control these six items, speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals, is to be called Swami or Goswami. Swami means master, and Goswami means the master of Go, the senses. When one accepts the renounced order of the life, he automatically assumes the title of Swami. This does not mean that he is the master of his family, community, or society. He must be the master of his senses. Unless one is the master of the senses, he should not be called Goswami, but Godash, servant of the senses. Following the footsteps of six Goswamis of Vrindavan, all Swami and Goswami should fully engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As opposed to this, the Godas engage in the service of the senses or in the service of the material world. They have no other engagement. Prahlad Maharaj has further described the Godas as Adantago, which refer to one whose senses are not controlled. An Adantago cannot become a servant of Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj said that what he is saying, for those who have decided to continue their existence in this material world for the gratification of their senses, there is no chance of becoming Krishna consciousness, not by personal endeavor or by instruction from others or by joint conferences. They are dragged by the unbridled senses into the darkest region of ignorance, and thus they madly engage in what is called chewing the chewed. Hare Krishna.